What's up? Talking comics here. And actually, this is my first video I filmed not on a weekend, honestly. Well, I did one Thursday, but it was the weekend, technically. Like, the next day was Friday, which is the weekend, so I kind of count that. But my last video did not actually turn out very well at all, so I decided to go ahead and do a video. And sorry about the background noise. I'm pumping up the audio. I gotta get a screen thing for my mic, which is why there's background noise and why my voice is usually so low. I decided, since you can't really hear me, and that's the worst thing possible for video, is you can't hear me at all, I actually am going to just have the audio pretty high up there and just kind of get rid of the background noise. Hopefully, it may probably still be there, but whatever. But I kind of just felt bad about what was happening with my last video, so I decided to just do a new video. I didn't want to redo that video because you can sort of hear me, so like if you really care you can fix it. But I decided to do something that I didn't really see anything about, and I kind of just got research for this. And this is the Dark Avengers versus the Thunderbolts. Now the Dark Avengers is they're both groups of supervillains pretending to be superheroes, but the difference between them is that the original Thunderbolts was actually former masters of evil people occasionally. I don't think all of them will, but a couple will. A lot of the Thunderbolts actually, besides a few members, kind of get shoved to the back. Like I forget what the dude's name is, but the Beetle-like dude, he ended up just going in the background of a Superior Spider-Man thing, which already was a background type of thing. I actually enjoy Superior Spider-Man myself, but it is a background type of thing. And honestly, I don't even know if they're still doing it. I haven't seen it for a while, honestly. But pretty much, we're just going to go ahead and move on. Now, the Thunderbolts, my original point, I'm sorry, I lost track. My original point was that the Thunderbolts, unlike the Dark Avengers, actually was a secret. You did not know that these were supervillains. Now, the Dark Avengers is not the case. They literally open up with Norman Osborn, which is the Green Goblin. So, you pretty much from the gist know that this guy is kind of evil. But I will say though, it's a lot more complex, I think, when it comes to the Dark Avengers. And there's it's more of a main type of thing. Like the Thunderbolts, you can not read if you care about continuity. But the Dark Avengers is definitely something that happened when it comes to continuity, so you kind of have to read. Thunderbolts is in continuity. I didn't mean to make it sound like it's not. It's just that it doesn't really like come into play that much. That Dark Avengers, not anymore really, but it for a while though, like it kind of was kind of a big thing. Now, just for the record, I'm going to be using Norman Osborn's Dark Avengers. There is another Dark Avengers team. I'm not going to do them because I'm just using what I view as the most iconic version. And I'm also using the Baron Zemo version with Venom on it, because that is the only Thunderbolts team, besides the original that I read some of, just to get caught up. But that's the team that I was introduced to myself, personally. And it has Venom, so that's always a boost. But we're going to go ahead and start off with Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is Baron Zemo, Songbird. I want to say Radioactive Man, I don't really know what his name is. We have Venom, and some Spike dude. I don't know much about that dude. I don't even know his name, honestly. He's not. I was introduced to him from Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 2, actually, the game. I know, but weird place to introduce him. But yeah, I read the Thunderbolts and I just never got what he does. But I know his power. The more pain, the more damage he deals out. So it's stuff like that, I guess. But we're gonna go ahead and move on from them and just move on to who the Dark Avengers team is. So we got Norman Osborn as Captain America, Iron Man, called Iron Patriot. So he's the best of both worlds. So if you can't pick a side, pick Norman. And his very own Amazing Spider-Man, which was actually Venom. Now, I'm gonna get more into it when it comes to Thunderbolts, because I believe Matt Gargan, aka the Scorpion, aka the Venom, actually was on the Thunderbolts, I believe, before the Dark Avengers, because a few members of the Thunderbolts actually got transferred over into the Dark Avengers. But moving on with him, pretty much actually one of the best designs for Venom, in my personal opinion, was the Matt Gargan Scorpion suit that was given to him by Norman Osborn. And I know this isn't a Venom video, but that Venom was where it was the time period where he's no longer with Eddie Brock. Obviously, it's Matt Gargan, Scorpion, the old Scorpion-esque villain. You know, wasn't expecting him to become a cannibal, which is what he turns into. Venom's eating people, and he did not eat people with Eddie Brock. It wasn't really a bond as it was with Eddie Brock or even Flash Thompson later, where he completely switched his personality, the symbiote itself, when it bonds with him. That's a totally different argument though, and so I forget off track once again. But it's more of literally Venom telling Matt Gargan what to do. But on the Dark Avengers, the reason why he can shapeshift in the Spider-Man himself, well, not himself, but the shape, just the costume, is because of Norman Osborn giving Venom a type of sedative, I believe, is the right word. Pretty sure. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. And also giving him a suit to contain him that later down the road actually breaks when he fights Anti-Venom. And because Anti-Venom was Eddie Brock at the time, actually, the Venom actually liked it, Eddie Brock, since that was, like, for the longest time his perfect host, and in my opinion still is. But pretty much it breaks. Venom does not want to fight Eddie, so he just stops fighting. And Mac's like, oh, once I finally learn to control the symbiote, I'll get back at you. Never does. Symbiote ends up leaving him. But that's a story for another day, and we're going to go and move on with actually the Dark Wolverine, which was a pretty cool character. He got removed. I didn't really like him myself, but it was nice. It was cool for Dark Avengers. Outside Dark Avengers, I didn't really care for him, but it was nice having a Wolverine replacement. And this is Dakin, or I've seen people online say like Draken, but I personally pronounce this Dakin. But it's pretty much Wolverine. He has X-23 claws where he has 2 claws, but he actually has a wrist claw coming out, so it's like 3 claws, but 1 on the wrist. So it's actually pretty cool, and props on the art. I mean, obviously, all the art's fantastic, because, first of all, I can't draw, so I can't even imagine drawing any of that. But it's really interesting seeing how the artist can actually, like, make the claw come out whenever, like, they do a Wolverine pose. And from the top, the claw actually looks like it's coming out of the wrist and not the hand. So it was really cool. I always like that detail. But it's Dakin. If you guys ever watched Wolverine 2, the movie Silver Samurai, it's the wife during the Silver Samurai arc of Wolverine. She has a son before she's killed, and I don't actually know if she dies in the movie, but in the comic she did. And she actually has a son. Wolverine doesn't know. Actually, there's a whole story about children Wolverine doesn't know about. There's tons out there. And pretty much what happens is that she gives birth to Dakin, and Dakin has Wolverine's ability, 3 claws technically, but also has a ability of what is it called? What is the word? I want to say pheromones. To avoid any further embarrassment when it comes to pronouncing it, I'm just going to go ahead and say an aura around him that allows him to control, kind of like his charisma around you, so you might like him a lot. So like when he needs information, he'll just seduce you with his aura and stuff like that. That's pretty much the extent. I don't remember him using it in any type of combat. Like I don't think it's going to change your like mind about something, but I don't really remember. Maybe it makes it kind of like drinking, like you cool. I don't know. Those are just random examples. We're gonna go move on with the Miss Marvel. Now this is the original Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, same person. This is the original outfit, and before Marvel decided to go full on, just overpowered with her, pretty much. Well, overpowered-ish, quotation marks in real life, but that's not the point. And actually is being replaced by a character named Moonstone, who was actually in the original Thunderbolts as well, like I was saying. A lot of Thunderbolts kind of transferred over. Pretty much has a stone of the Kree. She absorbed it. I don't remember how or when she did this, but I'm assuming she just picked up the stone and just got powers. And she was actually a match for Captain Marvel to a certain degree. I believe she ended up like losing a lot of the fights, but in the actual Dark Avengers, he did well. I suppose the easiest answer, but pretty much that's the info. I don't know much about her. Just Noah and the Thunderbolts and Dark Avengers. Never read Miss Marvel or anything like that. But we're gonna go ahead and move on with Bullseye. Now, Bullseye is a Daredevil, Hawkeye, Spider-Man villain. I know a lot. Well, pretty much the majority of villains like live in New York. Marvel's New York is the equivalent to DC's freaking Gotham, honestly. Like, so many villains, but so many heroes though as well. But Bullseye replaced Hawkeye, and apparently it's been said that he actually is a better archer, just because he actually is pretty much better at his job. Hawkeye doesn't he's not like Deadshot where he says he's gonna hit every hit or hit everything he shoots at or whatever. But pretty much Bullseye was actually, I guess, a superior Hawkeye, just because he is better at archery, I guess. I don't really know the extent. I'm pretty sure Bullseye has, I don't remember, he might have a metagene. I don't think he does, but he might, I don't know. But he actually appeared in the Daredevil TV show, so the season 3, in my opinion, the worst season. Shouldn't have canceled it though. You could have redeemed it, but that's pretty much the extent of that. And now we're gonna move on with my favorite member of the Sentry. Now, the Sentry is actually one of the most powerful Marvel characters, and as Marvel, it seems like almost every really powerful character has a split personality disorder, which I'm referencing Legion, by the way, one of the best TV shows I've ever watched. Amazing, loved it. And he is a comic book character who has split personalities. And so does Sentry. Sentry is a really powerful dude. Pretty much like the hero, the chosen one, I suppose. Not really chosen one, just like the original hero, I suppose. But he has a dark side, split personality, a really good guy who does kind of bad things, and actually just got killed in King of Black. He was not expecting him to show up in that, though. Yeah, they show off some power. They killed him in King of Black, which is okay with me. He's been gone for a while, but pretty much he has a split personality. I believe it stems from his power over the void, I believe, and I don't know if his Dark Sentry version is called the Void, but I'm just gonna reference it by the Void. But pretty much Norman Osborn, the leader of the Dark Avengers, which is going by Iron Patriot at this point, also has split personality disorder, and is, of course, fighting with himself over becoming the Green Goblin. Of course, it always ends up with Green Goblin. But pretty much, it actually was a pretty heartfelt speech between him and the Sentry, because, they both deal with issues and they're both trying to be good. Though I believe the Dark Avengers, unlike the Thunderbolts, I believe they were actually trying to do good, because I don't want to fully say that this is 100% correct, but I do believe they made it a point with at least Moonstone when she was pretending to be Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel, whichever one you go by, actually was being a good hero for a little while. I don't know, I doubt she was the whole time, but it was pretty cool. Miss Marvel came back alive during the event. Actually, the Avengers were dead. That's kind of what happened. This whole thing started because of a Skrull. Dang it, messing up so much. A Skrull war happened, and Norman Osborn just full on showed up at the very end, took the Queen down on camera, posted it YouTube. I know, so much competition, but pretty much did that, and just was like, okay, I won. I get everything. And he ended up pretty much replacing the Avengers and replaced S.H.I.E.L.D. with a group named Hammer. Did not know Norman Osborn invented Hammer. I thought Hammer was actually a thing invented in Iron Man by an Iron Man villain, and I don't think it really showed up, but it was talked about in the Iron Man movies, the MCU. So I didn't know Norman Osborn, the Spider-Man villain, invented all this. And it was a nice change though for the Dark Avengers, because Norman Osborn was a Spider-Man-esque villain, very specifically, except for villains always run into other people in New York, but it was pretty cool. And it was nice to see a change. Norman Osborn wasn't going small scale, like he was a full-on Avengers thing. And Spider-Man and Wolverine were both part of the new Avengers at this point, which is why the Dark Avengers kind of have a Wolverine, Spider-Man, stuff like that. It's because the new Avengers Scarlet Witch killed tons of people, and a lot of the Avengers, old Avengers, died, and then the war happened and stuff like that. So just all that equaled the Dark Avengers and New Avengers kind of clashing towards the end of the story. And all this was covered in Dark Reign, I believe. I don't think anything else. There might have been a few tie-ins, like actually killed off the Punisher for a little while, Daken, Dawkin, whatever you want to call him. But the son of Wolverine ended up killing Punisher. That's the only one I can distinctly remember off the top of my head was the Punisher dying. But that's the end of the Dark Avengers. Now we're gonna move on to the Thunderbolts, which had Baron Zemo, Moonstone, Radioactive Man, I'm pretty sure that's the guy's name. Again, I'm not fully sure. And Venom. And a few Songbird, I think I already mentioned. But there's a few other people and stuff like that. There's a lot of incarnations of the Thunderbolts, including the kind of a new Thunderbolts who actually were good guys. Not villains, pretending to be good guys, but just full-on good guys, anti-heroes. It was Elektra, Punisher, Deadpool, Red Hulk, and Venom, Agent Venom. It's an okay thing. I haven't seen anyone really praise it, but it's an okay team. It's something like if you want to do a vigilante team, it seems like it worked, but you might want to do something like the Defenders from the TV show, not the comic Defenders, because the comic Defenders had the King of Atlantis and the Hulk on it. So, oh, and Sorcerer Supreme, I believe, but I don't really know. Nope, that was Ghost Rider. Never mind. Fun fact, just learned about this the other day. When Ghost Rider joined the Fantastic Four, it was actually not supposed to be my personal favorite Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze. It was actually supposed to be his brother Danny, who was the 80s Ghost Rider, and maybe a little bit of the 90s, but I'm pretty sure the 90s was mostly Johnny Blaze. Not fully sure about this, but I found out the artist did not know they were separate people and drew Danny. Oh, Johnny, not Danny. He was misinformed, pretty much. But that's okay. I appreciate the mistake because, you know, the dude's awesome. But he died before the comic was released, I believe. But just moving on from that, we're gonna shift back into the main topic, the Thunderbolts. Not the new version, but the villain version. It was actually a secret, like a legitimately secret-fied. I don't know where I was going, but my point was it's a secret. Now the Thunderbolts also had Swordmaster. I forgot about him till like just a second, but actually that might have been Baron Zemo pretending to be him. I do not know. I did not care. But actually I do like Baron Zemo. I just feel like he is outshined a lot, and like this, like he led his own kind of team, like the Thunderbolts. You know, that was probably him because I didn't see him in that picture. I always refresh myself for every couple minutes so I don't lose my track, but that's long gone. But pretty much moving on. Thunderbolts were not trying to be heroes, I believe. I believe they were literally like kind of like pretty much the Suicide Squad in the movie Suicide Squad, where it's like government needs villains, let's get villains. Not a smart idea, especially when the Dark Avengers, Venom, was sedated constantly, because they're not stupid. Norman Osborn is a genius. An evil genius, but a genius. Venom and Thunderbolts, no, he eats people, including his teammates. Not pretty, but yeah. Matt Gargan, Venom, just, it's not the same like it is when it comes to Flash or Eddie. It's literally, Venom tells him what to do, and if he disobeys, he dies. And yeah, it was pretty cool. Actually, at this point, Venom already killed a host, and so like it's not like him just threatening. He's done it. And I covered that in my Venom video, but my Venom video audio turned out pretty bad, so I'm sorry about that. And we're just gonna go ahead and move on with Thunderbolts again. That's pretty much the end of it. They don't really have anything, like I was saying earlier, between them and Dark Avengers. Thunderbolts don't really do anything. I mean, they do stuff, but they don't really, they occasionally show up in comics at the time. Not anymore, because it's all new, all different. Then they went back to everything actually being cool again. But it was weird. It was weird. I like Thunderbolts. I just feel like they're kind of a useless team. But if you like them, awesome. I do like them. I just don't really like them to the point where I'd read them over anything else. But that's pretty much the end. So the difference is pretty much is Dark Avengers, literally evil people trying to be cool and not really being that evil. Though there is a couple of versions of Dark Avengers as well. I believe Luke Cage ends up leading one version of it, and Scarlet Witch joins, a fake Scarlet Witch, of course, joins at some point, and so does a fake Thor, which actually in the Dark Avengers that I'm talking about, this actually is a Thor called Ares. He's not really a Thor. He doesn't use a hammer. He uses axes, and he's pretty much a replacement for Thor. And pretty much there's a replacement for Hulk eventually. It's actually Hulk's son, who has pretty much disappeared from comics. And yeah, I don't know what happened to him, honestly. Though I do like the current Immortal Hulk one. I really enjoyed that. But that's pretty much the end of it, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And just leave me a note in the comments. I'd love to read them. Which team do you think did it better when it comes to faking being super? Who was the better faker, I suppose. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully this weekend, actually. But yeah, I'm probably going to do that Venom symbiote thing, so see you then.